Having allied herself with Walford's supreme uber-bitch, Chrissy Watts, Tracy and Oberman, she launched a vicious and insidious stalking campaign against Zoe, while also making an enemy of Cindy Beale, Michelle Collins, which resulted in Cindy lying in a pile at the foot of the Albert stairs, after Jasmine shoved her down them. Her revenge mission took a violent turn when she believed Zoe's life was in danger, having discovered her birth father, Anthony Truman, Nicholas Bailey, attacking her and killed him. Throughout all of this, the one soft spot she appeared to possess was for her boyfriend, Oscar Branning, Pierre Counihan Mullier, who was utterly spellbound upon meeting Jasmine. A perennial playboy, Oscar shunned his promiscuous past and pledged himself to Jasmine, despite her absolute reluctance to open up to him about anything. Pretty toxic, really? After Jasmine's role in Anthony's death was finally exposed, Oscar resigned himself to a life without her, and began to wallow in self-pity, self-medicating with a seemingly endless stream of meaningless one-night stands and casual partners. Until he met Josh Goodwin, Joshua Vaughn. The spark was immediate, the tension was palpable, and it was undeniable that there was something between them. With Josh having arrived in Walford to seek answers over how Jasmine had come to murder their birth father and feeling overwhelmed following encounters with his pseudo-aunties, Kim and Denise Fox, Tamika Empson and Diane Parrish, he ended up in the Albert looking for a distraction. And distraction he found in Oscar. Without having any idea who the other was, they found themselves kissing and later tumbling into bed. When they discovered their connection via Jasmine, and Oscar reunited with her following her release from prison, they decided to keep their night of passion a secret so as not to hurt anybody. But it was clear that their connection was too strong to simply be ignored. As Josh acclimatized to life in Walford, his adoptive mum, Sandra Dawn Steele, who'd previously also taken Jasmine in, let Kat into some dark ponderings regarding her and the death of her husband. Sandra told Kat that her husband died after a car crash while taking Jasmine to the swimming pool, making sure to point out that the weather was perfectly clear, and that the car had no faults. There was absolutely zero subtext as to what she was suggesting, describing Jasmine as deeply troubled, with a steep history of lashing out, and having previously attempted to sabotage her own driving. She told Kat how she remembered arriving at the hospital after the crash to see Jasmine, her face utterly blank, without even a hint of emotion after witnessing the death of her father. Oscar and Josh have since given in to their chemistry, despite their efforts to remain apart, and Josh decides to tell him of the mystery surrounding both his dad's untimely demise and Jasmine's potential role in it in tomorrow's episode. Horrified, Oscar turns to Jasmine for answers, and receives a vicious smack in the mouth for his troubles. Oscar heads back to Josh, who tries to soothe him with a kiss, only for them to be discovered by Kat. With Jasmine insisting that Oscar attend her birthday party, and with Zoe also determined that Josh should attend, Kat's discovery comes as she arrives to invite Josh to the bash. Absolutely floored, Kat turns to Alfie Moon, Shane Ritchie, for advice, and they both agree to remain silent for the time being, so as not to destroy Jasmine's birthday or Zoe's joy at celebrating with her children. Still, now that Kat knows of the affair, surely it won't be long until somebody else does. And if that person is Jasmine, are Oscar and Josh's lives in danger? Walford is no stranger to secrets, lies, and explosive betrayals, but the latest drama brewing in EastEnders could leave several residents facing consequences they never saw coming. As Oscar and Josh find themselves caught red-handed, Jasmine's shocking return to her darker instincts threatens to turn lives upside down once again. The tension begins when Oscar and Josh believe they've managed to keep their latest scheme hidden from those around them. For weeks, the pair have been walking a dangerous line, convinced that their actions would remain buried beneath layers of deception. However, in true Walford fashion, secrets never stay hidden for long. Oscar, eager to prove himself and desperate to escape the shadow of past mistakes, finds himself making increasingly reckless decisions. Josh, meanwhile, is reluctant at first but soon becomes entangled in the situation, fearing that backing out could expose them both. Together, they create a web of lies that grows more complicated with every passing day. What neither of them anticipates is the return of Jasmine's darker side. Having spent months attempting to rebuild her life and earn the trust of those she once hurt, Jasmine initially appears determined to leave her troubled past behind. Friends and family cautiously welcome the change, hoping she has finally turned a corner. Yet beneath the surface, old wounds continue to fester. When Jasmine stumbles upon evidence linking Oscar and Josh to a suspicious incident, something shifts inside her. The discovery awakens emotions she has struggled to suppress for years: anger, resentment, and a burning desire for exposing the truth. Jasmine chooses a far more dangerous path. She begins gathering information quietly, watching Oscar and Josh from the shadows. Every conversation, every nervous glance, every suspicious movement becomes another piece of a puzzle she is determined to solve. As her obsession grows, viewers begin to see familiar signs of the manipulative and calculating Jasmine that once caused chaos throughout Walford. The pressure on Oscar and Josh intensifies when they realize someone knows what they've done. At first, they suspect one another. Trust begins to crumble as paranoia takes hold. Oscar accuses Josh of talking, while Josh insists he has remained loyal. Their friendship is pushed to breaking point as they desperately search for the source of the threat hanging over them. Meanwhile, Jasmine expertly plays both sides. She offers support when needed, gaining their confidence while secretly tightening the noose around them. Her ability to manipulate situations leaves viewers questioning just how far she is willing to go. Is she seeking justice, revenge, or simply enjoying the power she now holds? As the days pass, cracks begin to show. Josh struggles with guilt and becomes increasingly anxious. His conscience tells him that confessing might be the only way out. Oscar, however, remains determined to keep the secret buried, believing they can still escape the fallout. Their disagreement reaches a boiling point during a dramatic confrontation in Albert Square. In front of shocked residents, accusations fly and tempers explode. The argument immediately raises suspicions, drawing attention from those who have already sensed something isn't quite right. Suddenly, the pair's carefully constructed cover story starts to unravel. But Jasmine isn't finished. In a chilling twist, she reveals she possesses evidence capable of destroying both men. The revelation sends shockwaves through Walford and leaves Oscar and Josh scrambling for a solution. For the first time, they realize the true danger they face isn't exposure. It's Jasmine herself. The return of her darker side becomes impossible to ignore. Gone is the woman trying to make amends. In her place stands someone prepared to use secrets as weapons. Her actions become increasingly unpredictable, leaving friends concerned and enemies terrified. Several residents attempt to intervene, urging Jasmine not to let revenge consume her. Yet their warnings fall on deaf ears. The more power she gains, the more determined she becomes to see her plan through. As the storyline races toward its climax, viewers are left wondering who will come out on top. Will Oscar and Josh finally admit the truth before Jasmine destroys them? Can Josh find the courage to do the right thing, even if it means facing serious consequences? And perhaps most importantly, can Jasmine step back from the darkness before it consumes her completely? One thing is certain: Walford is heading for another unforgettable showdown. The beauty of EastEnders has always been its ability to place flawed characters in impossible situations, forcing them to confront their deepest fears and worst impulses. This latest storyline delivers exactly that, combining suspense, emotional conflict, and shocking twists in classic soap fashion. With Oscar and Josh trapped by their own lies and Jasmine embracing a side of herself she desperately tried to leave behind, the stage is set for explosive scenes that could change lives forever. As secrets come to light and loyalties are tested, viewers should prepare for betrayal, heartbreak, and consequences that will echo through Albert Square for weeks to come. Because in Walford, the truth always finds a way out, and when it does, nobody escapes unscathed. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to EastEnders Spoilers Official.